Welcome to our video review of the NVIDIA GTX 560 Ti, a graphics card that takes us on a nostalgic journey back to the early 2010s. In this review, we'll be revisiting the GTX 560 Ti to assess how it holds up in today's gaming landscape, where newer and more powerful GPUs have taken center stage. Released over a decade ago, the GTX 560 Ti was once considered a reliable mid-range option for gamers seeking a balance between performance and affordability. However, times have changed, and the GTX 560 Ti now faces the challenge of aging hardware and evolving game demands. Can it still provide a viable gaming experience for budget-conscious gamers? The NVIDIA GTX 560 Ti is a graphics card that was released by NVIDIA in January 2011. It belongs to the GeForce 500 series, which was based on the Fermi architecture. The GTX 560 Ti was positioned as a mid-range graphics card and offered a good balance of performance and affordability at the time of its release. The GTX 560 Ti delivered solid performance for its time, capable of running modern games at medium to high settings and resolutions up to 1080p. It also supported DirectX 11, which allowed for enhanced visual effects and improved gaming experiences. It had 1 GB or 2 GB of GDDR5 video memory, operating at an effective memory clock speed of 4000 MHz. The memory interface was 256-bit, which provided a significant memory bandwidth for improved performance. The GTX 560 Ti featured the GF114 GPU, which had 384 CUDA cores. CUDA cores are specialized processing units that handle parallel computing tasks, making the card suitable for both gaming and GPU-accelerated applications. I personally have good memories of 560 Ti because in the period between 2011 and 2017, this was the graphics card in my computer and I played a lot of games. Not exactly the card from this video, I sold mine few years ago, but recently I remembered and decided to buy a similar card from eBay. The card in this video is from PNY. The official name is XLR8 or Accelerate GeForce GTX 560 Ti Enthusiast Edition. I'm not sure what is the deal with this XLR8 branding. Probably some marketing about high-performance components targeted at gamers and enthusiasts who seek top-tier hardware for their gaming rigs or content creation workstations.
This is Sparta!
The card is based on NVIDIA's reference design with one fan. 560 Ti was available at a range of prices because NVIDIA has encouraged manufacturers to produce overclocked versions of the card with more beefed up cooling. According to the information I found online, this card should be at stock clock speeds, but according to GPU-Z Utility, the GPU, the memory and the shader clocks are faster. After looking more closely, I saw that in the middle of the card it says overclocked. The font is so faint that it's hard to see. So there is a few percent increase from stock frequencies, between 3 and 5%. Being a dual slot card, the GTX 560 Ti draws power from two 6-pin power connectors, with power draw rated at 170 watts maximum. Display outputs include 2 DVI and 1 mini HDMI 1. I have no idea why it's not a standard HDMI port, but a mini one. I didn't know about this before the purchase, so I had to buy a mini HDMI to a HDMI cable. However, it didn't work. I don't know if the cable or the card is faulty. Then I ordered a DVI to HDMI and it worked. When the card was brand new, a little adapter was included in the box according to this photo I found online. Let's start with some performance tests. 3D Mark was first with a Night Raid benchmark score. The remaining parts of the configuration are Intel Haswell Core 54590 CPU, 8 GB RAM, and Windows 10 on a SSD. I then tried running a few games with a built-in benchmark, but I had no success. I couldn't start Cyberpunk, Far Cry 6, Tomb Raider, or Forza 5. Next in the program are popular games, mainly multiplayer and esports titles. All the game recordings are with 1080p resolution except GTA 5. Grand Theft Auto is with 1600 by 900 resolution because the 1 GB VRAM was not enough for higher textures. but I don't know why OBS detects and records the footage as 1680 by 1050 resolution. Something along the GTX 560 DVI to HDMI cable capture card chain is to blame. Until the end of the video, you can see footage from the games. Unfortunately, I couldn't record the audio from the games. And as a conclusion, I can say that age has an effect on the card, but gaming is still possible. On more modest titles, of course, not recent AAA titles,